What's going on, everyone? I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. No introduction to this video because there's a lot to discuss. These videos are going to be rare and far between, when I'm basically just venting and speaking my mind. But yesterday was a very difficult and complicated day, not just for those in my social circles, but, because of what happened here in Charlotte yesterday. Before I begin, on behalf of this channel, my thoughts and prayers go out to the families of the police officers that lost their lives yesterday to this animal and whoever was involved with him. There was a very brutal shooting here in Charlotte where 3 federal marshals and 1 CMPD police officer unfortunately lost their lives serving an arrest warrant to a convicted felon over a gun charge, I believe, or something to that effect. You have to bear with me. I'm very tired and very, out of it right now. So, unfortunately, I guess these officers were not prepared for what they were about to face, and from what it sounds like, they were ambushed. And from what I understand, hundreds of shots rang out in the neighborhood there where it happened. And things like this do not happen in Charlotte. I mean, Charlotte's got its problems like every other city, but it's not like one of these disgusting big cities like my former home of socialist New York or Chicago or Seattle or Portland or anything like that. So it's a very rare thing. We have a supermajority in the House and Senate here in North Carolina. So, it's a mostly conservative state. But unfortunately, because of, what's happening in other cities and states around the country, unfortunately, when people come here, they're not like me, who leave behind all that crap. I'm a registered conservative. It is what it is. If people don't like it, that's just too bad. But, I left New York in New York. And, I'm the most anti-New Yorker that you would ever meet. Even the people here can't believe, how non-New York-ish I am. So, as people continue to move here, the quality of life is slowly beginning to deteriorate. And the city council keeps pushing these public works projects to keep building and building and building and building all these new buildings in what we call Uptown Charlotte or Center City and all throughout Charlotte, where they're devastating forests and wooded areas and canopies for all these apartment complexes because of the lure of, the tax revenue. And as a result of Democrat policies, things are beginning to show its ugly face here. And it's a real shame because even when I moved here, I've never believed how quiet and calm, at least in the area where I currently live. I mean, it's so serene here, but it's a culture shock because most people here, they're God-fearing, they keep to themselves, everybody here is pretty much jovial and even the simplest things, here, nothing is trivial. Even the simplest things make people happy down here, which I appreciate and love, I mean, my door is always open for, my friends and neighbors, to swing by. I mean, I got brand new patio furniture outside. I think I mentioned that on the channel. And I always have company. Not every day, but quite frequently and regularly. So it's a culture shock down here. Most people are friendly and generous and giving and God-fearing, and they just want to laugh and sit back and take it all in, and this is huge here. It's never happened before. So for those families who lost these officers, may God have mercy on your souls and bless you for all eternity. On behalf of this channel, it's really a shame that now, things are starting to show their ugliness here where I live. So, it is the talk of the town, what happened here yesterday. Because it just, like I said, it never happens. You never see things like this happening here. So God bless the souls of these fallen warriors, 3 federal marshals and 1 local hero CMPD officer. God bless your souls. May you find peace and serenity in heaven. And with that being said, even things within my personal circles, including myself, got a little messed up yesterday too, because if you can't see in front of you right here, I actually bought 6 hobby boxes, or retail boxes, I should say, of Topps Heritage. Here are just some of the pulls that I got. There's a chrome Corbin Carroll out of $9.99 and a chrome Colton Cowser out of 999 chrome, blah blah blah. Forgive me, I'm tired, guys, if I'm repeating myself. I'm thoroughly worn out. Last night was a long night, which I'll explain as this video progresses. But I'm going to pan the camera around. There's all the Topps Heritage that, I unboxed, that I was filming yesterday until I got a certain phone call late last night. And there's a bunch of supplies for not just my car, but I bought my buddy, who currently is lending me his backup car until I get my car fixed. Those are just some of the cleaning supplies that I bought for him. I got a lot more stuff that I ordered from Walmart. It's just easier to get, stuff from Walmart that they don't have up on the shelves and have it delivered, so it doesn't really cost you anything. And there's the cooler left over from yesterday. This place was like a mess. My whole living room was filled with stuff. I mean, unfortunately for my Transformers viewers, there's Missing Link Prime, the one with the trailer, and the cartoon accurate robot sitting right there. I know you guys are waiting for a review. I'm not motivated to do it just yet. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. I don't know. But yeah, yesterday I went out for cases. I bought 2 cases of Monster from Sam's Club. I bought 24 cases, or 28 cases, I should say, excuse me, of the small Gatorades that I drink at night when I can't sleep. And just some other random cleaning supplies and things for the home for myself. And as I was coming home, I heard what happened on the radio in my car, what happened with these police officers. And my phone started blowing up. And then I'm on the last quarter of a mile before I get home, and then all of a sudden I hear like a pow inside my car. And the transmission blew out right in the middle of the road. And thank God that there's like a divider in the middle of the road where it's just enough room where you can, leave your car. So thank God for gravity that I was able to use inertia to get my car to at least come to a standstill right in the middle of this divider. And I called one of my buddies who has a big work truck, and we ended up towing my car back to the property here. And we opened up the hood of my car, and the top of the battery blew off. So if you guys understand car batteries, there's like a cap that covers the cells of the battery. So that completely blew off, and there were like 2 or 3 other pieces of the engine that he happened to have found. So, he lent me his backup car, which I currently have until I get my car fixed. Got a brand new car battery right here, because there's an AutoZone where I live right around the corner, so it's not that far. And got a brand new battery. We installed it, and that brought the car right back to life again. But it looks like the transmission's gone, so I can't begin to imagine it. It's most likely the ABS system that went on the car, which means that, the car is going to have to be towed. It's going to cost me a small fortune to get this car fixed. But thank God, we have a mutual friend that works at an auto body shop here in Charlotte that, really, really takes care of people he knows, I mean, I grease him a little bit, so throw him a bone, a case of beer or something like that. So today I was going to call up and get the car towed. I'm in no mood today because I woke up super late, because after all that happened, my buddy and another friend were hanging out afterward. We basically said, F this, leave the car right here where it is on the parking lot, because it's on the property anyway, so it's not going anywhere. And, because, my buddy helped me, I bought him and his family food, ordered takeout, and bought him a couple packs of cigarettes, drove his car to the store, bought him cigarettes and beer for us guys and whatnot, and bought us food, his wife and kid, I bought food. So now you got the 3 of us guys sitting outside while, my buddy's wife and son went indoors to eat. And, everything was great. We're there BSing with each other, and then we called it an early night. So I come home, I break these boxes, and I was filming these boxes of Topps Heritage. And as I'm filming, and my entire living room was covered with all sorts of stuff, man, and supplies and things like that, right there, the Rain-X and whatnot. And I get a phone call. It's my buddy's wife. Come, hurry. And mind you, I was already in my nighttime attire, so to speak. So now I had to. She never calls me. Never. This woman would never call me unless it was something really important. So I got dressed. I hopped in my buddy's car, drove back to where we were hanging out, where my car is parked. And sure enough, there's an ambulance and a fire truck pulling in. So I hop out of the car and I go inside. And I gave my buddy a computer chair recently because I don't have the room like I used to in my old apartment. And he's sitting in my old computer chair and he's got his hand over his heart. And immediately we're thinking heart attack. So, they hooked him up to an EKG and they were checking him and put him in the ambulance. They wouldn't let me ride in the ambulance with them. So I said, you mind if I follow behind? They're like, yeah, just make sure you don't get too close in case we have to stop quick. So that's exactly what happened. So I followed behind, and they did all sorts of crazy, and he's not like the type who's used to hospitals. He doesn't like hospitals. He doesn't like needles. He doesn't like getting tested. He's a good guy, but he's a stubborn guy. Nobody likes going to the hospital. Him in particular. I thought my old man was bad with hospitals and stuff, but he hates hospitals. So this is like something new to him, as he's one tough son of a you-know-what. But, they put him through all these tests and x-rays and they drew blood out of him and gave him all sorts of medications. They gave him saline and whatever else it is that they do. And they attributed it to most likely overexertion and stress. And it most likely induced a panic attack, which caused his blood pressure to spike. And, around, I think, 6:30, 7 o'clock this morning, they finally discharged him, so I got him home. And I came home, passed right out, and woke up like around 1:30 in the afternoon. So I was supposed to call my buddy's auto body shop to come get my car, but it's already too late, and I got no motivation today. I'm tired, I'm burnt out, I feel meh. We're expecting heavy rain later on today, so it's just like all the signs are there to just say, you know what, today is just, not that day. So save it for tomorrow. Some things, sometimes you just have to wait and see what happens, So today I'm just kind of like, deflating and taking it all in, so to speak. Now, let me tell you, I'm sure many of you can identify with this. When it rains, it pours. That old saying has so much truth to it. When it rains, it most certainly pours. This was like Niagara Falls yesterday. So, hearing what happened here in Charlotte, I was born and bred in New York City, and you all know by watching the news, and you're going to have a lot of left-wing socialist Democrat, people out there that are in full denial, but the facts don't lie. The evidence doesn't lie. My former home is a crime-ridden cesspool. It's a grease trap. That's what it is. How many officers got shot up there recently? There was some cops that got shot up in Syracuse. And then an officer in New York City recently lost his life. And now you see all these businesses, after what happened with the COOF, the Ching Chong flu, all those businesses left. And now, all of a sudden, all of this crime is happening and even more businesses are starting to leave. Well, who's responsible for that? It's the voter. Ignorant people who vote for ignorant leaders will almost guarantee the decline of society because of selfish, greedy self-interest. That's a fact. And because people like that are fleeing places like my former home, they bring that crap down here. It just muddies the waters. And that's why we're starting to see this stuff happen down here. But, when I talk to people that were born and bred here, that have their families have lived here for generations, it's such a shocking thing to see because it just doesn't happen. And again, this is a mostly conservative state with a supermajority in the state and Senate, or in the House and Senate, I should say. It's a culture shock. And for me, I left that environment to get away from that environment to prove a point, and for good reason, because I don't want to live like that. I'm done living like that. I'm tired of living with the pushing, the shoving, the rude arrogance, the self-importance, the narcissism. There's a particular arrogance that the people of my former home have. Not all, but a majority do. Where they believe they're like the greatest thing since the invention of a left-handed doorknob. And quite frankly, when you put them under duress, you find out real quickly that you're nothing special. All you have to do is just go on the internet and find out about two events that happened. One was in 2001, and one happened with a little thing most of you may have forgotten by now, but it was a thing called Superstorm Sandy. Sometimes people need a reality check to teach them that, you're nothing when it comes to the greater scheme. So people need to put that arrogance in check. But they bring it down here and it muddies the waters, unfortunately. But, I'm very grateful that I got the friends that I got down here. I'm glad my buddy's all right. My other friend is moving because he's pursuing his career. So the best of luck to him. We're going to give him hopefully a decent send-off by the end of this week. Hopefully my other friend, who was in the hospital there yesterday, recovers. He's a tough cookie. I called him today for a little bit just to see how he was doing, and he's groggy. I got maybe like 6.5 hours of sleep after we got home, 7 hours, something like that. So I'm still like a little But when life happens, man, life, let me tell you, this is why you have to kind of like appreciate the little things, over the course of my life, now that I've turned 47, and I look at the greater scheme of things, the most trivial thing can and potentially be the most important thing. Nothing is trivial, my friends. You have to take every little morsel of good and appreciate it at that moment, because when it's gone, it's gone. So you have to live a little bit. You have to really appreciate what's around you. Like right now, I got the windows open. We're expecting rain, but it's a gorgeous day outside. Every so often I see deer running across the road, and we got a lot of birds here on the property. You see squirrels and rabbits and chipmunks and all that stuff. And things like that you learn to appreciate. You appreciate the weather. You appreciate the green grass. Now I've got the new patio furniture outside. I'm a lot more comfortable where I live. And, this apartment's almost done at this point. I've been slowly upgrading it. It's just my bedroom needs the most work right now. Obviously, you guys probably saw my collector's shelf with all my Transformers. There's still a couple more things I want to do. But, I'm trying to make my life as easy and simple as possible. But nothing's trivial, man. Absolutely nothing is trivial. And you really have to enjoy those moments. It's carpe diem, seize the day, because you never know what's going to happen. So today's like a day to reflect. And I hope my buddy's all right. I know he's going to be all right. He's probably already, getting antsy. I got 2 cases of Michelob Ultra sitting right here off to my right by my kitchen here. And I got me some of them black cherry White Claws. But today's not a day to really indulge. I'm probably going to just, sit on the patio with some music after I'm done uploading this video. But, yeah, hopefully he gets better. My car will be fixed. That's an easy thing, even though it's going to cost me a pretty penny. It's got to be done. Life goes on, man. You got to take the bad with the good sometimes. But, it could be a little overwhelming. But thank God, with friends and, good people around you, it just makes it a lot easier to bear with it. Because no one should have to deal with things by themselves. No one should have to bear the brunt or burden of life alone. We see a lot of this with families being destroyed and women cheating on their husbands and men being treated like trash. And going through financial hardships. God knows all the financial hardships I went through in the course of my life. My God, what I've been through. That's why I'm blessed to have what I have. And I'm able to reciprocate wherever I can. Reciprocity, folks. Reciprocity. Yes, it is a thing. Yes, you should engage in reciprocity. But with all that being said, enjoy it. Live it up. Have as much fun as you can, because there's going to be times life just will throw you that curveball. And God knows I've learned to appreciate every single good moment that comes my way. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for checking out this video. You know, I don't make videos like this that often on the channel, but every so often, you know, I like to kind of like talk about stuff, you know, I really don't, I'm really trying not to get into politics. It's like the one thing I'm doing everything I can. I'm kind of like tap dancing around it a little bit, but, you know, it's just, you know, I rather talk about more grounded issues, you know, that I think we can all relate to. So anyway, again, on behalf of this channel, my condolences, our condolences to the families of these police officers that lost their lives in the line of duty. And you know, I'll be checking up on my buddy. My car will be fixed. He will get better, and life will go on, folks. So with that being said, until next time, guys, I will be hopefully reviewing that Missing Link Optimus for you guys. It's just right now I need a little time to deflate and just kind of like, you know, take everything in. So until next time, God bless, stay safe, take care. I'm your host, the Carolina Collector, and I will see you soon.